All right. I'm about to get started on tonight's 60 Days to Attractive. We are continuing our series. This series has been amazing. You guys have been locking in not only in the lives, but in the image audits, in the consults. It's been really, really good to see. And I'm excited for y'all because we are already at least 10% into the 60 days, okay? I would say maybe even 20% into those days. And so we want to continue our conversation around our 60 days to attractive, okay? A lot of people were doubting this until they started looking at the before and afters, and they said, wait, you did that in 60 days? I was like, yeah, 60 days. It doesn't take that long for you to get your life together. The problem is most people don't know where to start, okay? Most people have no clue where they want to start in terms of looking more put together, feeling confident, etc. So what I want to talk about today is a couple of things. I want to talk about image audits. I want to talk about coming across as more attractive, but also what's getting in our way. As I'm having more and more conversations with you guys on a one-on-one basis, I'm learning that here's the big topic of the night. People don't know where to start, okay? Don't know where to start. And that's important because if you talk to people, they will kind of act like they know where to start, right? So what I mean by act like they know where to start is they'll have this plan on how they're going to glow up, and their plan is not backed by anything. All the things that I'm going to talk about here are backed up by years and years, over a decade of evidence. That's evidence. You guys are kind of just finding things online and saying, oh, I'm going to do that, and thinking it's going to help you. So when I had recent image audits with clients, they would come to me and they would say, yeah, I think it's my hair. And I would back up and I would be like, nope, it's not just the hair, honey. We've got bigger issues here. So when I say people don't know where to start, it's almost like people are looking at themselves and they know in the mirror, in a photo, they're like, I know something is off. Like they can at least say something's not working, something is off, but they have no clue what's actually wrong. And so what happens is, I'm not feeling like I look good. My look is not working. I have an idea. That's what you guys do. And then you go and get bangs, or you go dye your hair, or you're like, I'm going to throw out my whole closet and start over. You have no real science to help you get there. Now, when I talk to you about the big three, and we talk about the glow up, when we talk about science-backed theories on this, I'm going to help you see where you need to start. Because you don't just get to pick where you start. Okay? Number one, you need to know where. So that's one of the best things about the image audit. Okay? Image audit is actually a new thing that I offer. Didn't start offering it until last year. Okay? It's probably my best idea in 3 or 4 years, because it helps people see where to start and not just based off where you think you should start. So 3 days ago, I had a meeting with one of you guys, and she said at the end of the meeting, okay, Carla, I really want to change my hair. I said, whoa. Why are we changing the hair? The hair is actually working. The hair was actually working. You know what wasn't working? The style. She was dressing her body type horribly, okay? And again, I'm saying this with love. I'm not trying to bash anyone. I was like, if anything, why are we changing the hair? The hair is actually good. I would rate the hair that she had a 7 out of 10. I'm like, that's pretty good on you. But the style, maybe more of a 2. So why are we rushing to go change the hair? You see what I'm saying? People are like, I know something's not working. Let me just walk around confused and try things and throw money at things and guess until something hits. And so you keep doing that, but then you keep doing that for years and years and years. Who in the chat feels like they've been trying to get their look to really work and be hotter, and it's not working? You've tried, okay, they told me to do this, I did it. They told me to try this, I did it. They told me to change my hair. They told me to do strawberry shortcake blonde, all these trends, and then it didn't work. But the idea was cutesy, but how do you know what you need to work on? Okay? If you have ever worked with a personal trainer, you know they're going to look at you and they might poke around at your body and be like, body fat over here, cellulite over here. We're going to work and tone this. Like, they have to look at you and see what's great, what's not so great, what are your actual strengths and not. They're not going to just say, a good trainer's not going to just say, everybody's doing the same thing. Well, then we're not going to get the results, because actually the girl next to me, she's got great legs. My legs, horrible. My upper body's great, and vice versa. So the image audit allows for that, because y'all don't know where to start. Okay? People don't know where to start because they don't know this is the problem in your image. Okay, now, when we're analyzing image, do you guys know what we analyze? Right? This is when we're getting down to the nitty-gritty science. Do you guys know what are the components of an image that we analyze? Okay? Image components. Okay? What are they? What are they? What are we looking at? Yes, appearance, but what factors in the appearance? There's more than just saying appearance, because appearance is everything. But what are the details we really harp in on? Okay? I'm hearing clothes. That's a good one. Yep. So we say style, right? Or clothes. Whatever. Yes, that's one. What's another image component that we assess? What's another image component when we're thinking about how to get to attractive? Because you can't just say, I'm going to glow up, and you're not going to hyper analyze what are the biggest factors in a glow up. You see how most people just skip over that, doing the science of it? They're like, I want to glow up. Let me go find the quickest way. The quickest way doesn't mean it's the best way. It doesn't mean it's the way that's actually going to make an impact. And it doesn't mean it's the way that you actually need it. Maybe your skin was actually great, but you needed way more attention on your haircut, hair color, and style, right? Like, you have to understand these components. So, right, we're talking about style. Yes, we have style on here. We also have hair. Yes, hair is huge. Hair for men and women is huge. I think, women jokingly will say, like, a man having a beard or not, but like facial hair in your head. Hair is huge as an image component. Hair is not something that you should be picking at midnight after a couple of shots or a couple glasses of wine and randomly picking something. Hair needs to be decided based on your facial structure. Hello? I don't think anyone was talking about that. Facial structure, coloring. Do you look better with volume or not? Do you look better with a pixie cut or long lengths or medium lengths? Medium lengths get so overlooked, but it can be such a great length for some people, right? Because how are we deciding the hair? Is it just, I need to go to the best hairstylist in the city because she's going to do that signature, I don't know, Sabrina Carpenter look? Or am I supposed to pick hair based off of my features? Because if you've ever gotten a bad haircut, you know, man, she did a good job coloring it and like it looks good, but I don't like it on me. Hello? Right? So hairstyle. What else are in the image components? People. Ooh, mindset. I love that. So deep. Yes. Keep us, deeply rooted. I love that for us. Okay? It's not quite on this, but yes, sis. I love that. Okay? Yes. Skin/makeup. Makeup. Okay? The only asterisk that at the first level of attractiveness, which is a 7 out of 10, that we are going to add in here, the asterisk means if you personally have a distracting version of this, is teeth. Okay? Teeth are huge if they are distracting. What does that mean, distracting? If you are smiling in photos and the first thing people are really looking at are the teeth because maybe they've got things happening, shapes, things missing, like, right? Teeth can be very distracting. So if you haven't gotten this together, now most of you maybe got braces already. You thrown on a couple whitening strips. Like, your teeth are probably so, like, simple, straight, and, you know, like not a distraction at all, that they're fine. But if you know that you're noticing people like stare at maybe your bottom row of your teeth or something in the front or like something is missing, then teeth has to be big on your list. These are the most important image components. Now, we're talking about getting to a 7 out of 10, which most people are not anyways. Right? Like, what do I mean by that? 7 out of 10 is attractive and put together and polished enough that when you go out, people notice you and will probably say something to you. Oh, wow, you look great. Where are you heading to? Where are you going? Oh, something of the matter. Because most people go out like just enough to not be embarrassed. And some people don't care. Like, let's stop by a local anything right now. I don't care if it's a gas station. I don't care if it's Walgreens. I don't care if it's even the movie theater, the mall. Go to the mall right now. People are literally just like wearing what they can pass by. I'm like seeing people's butt cheeks. The things are so thin. The material looks like they sleep in it. That's what people look like in the real world. So 7 out of 10 gets you enough to be noticed, which is our 60 days to attractive. Now, if you're like, Carla, there should be more on the list. When you want to get to the 9s and the 10s, oh, baby, there's a lot on the list. But we're not there yet. Because what I'm learning in the image audit is that people aren't here. They're not even here yet. So imagine I'm trying to do, you know, calculus 2. You didn't pass pre-calc. Please, let's slow down. Let me make sure you can pass this class before I push you all the way out there, okay? So image audit is important because it helps people understand where to start based on this image component. I've had a few image audits since we started this series from people just from the lives. They go on my page and they sign up for an image audit. Why? Because they're like, Carla, I know something is off. Tell me where to start. I'll kind of think of a couple of the different people I'm talking to. One of them, she really, really needed a lot of help in skin and makeup and style. Her hair was pretty good. Actually, she had done a lot of different styles, and so we honed in on the one that worked the best for her, and she's going to keep doing that one. She's going to go back to it. It was like 2 hairstyles ago, and that was amazing. But now, she really needs help with style and skin. And then I talked to somebody else where we had skin was amazing. Oh my gosh. Skin and makeup was amazing. Style and hair, it was like, what's happening? Right? So this is what I mean. And if you are allowing yourself to audit yourself on your own merit, let's say, you're going to have the bias of looking at your image and say, I just think I need lashes. Lashes? And you can't dress your body? And you don't know how to pick a hairstyle that likes you back? Lashes? Hello, please. Talk to me, chat. Because what am I missing? What do we think a lash is going to do, and you can't dress your body type? So your body always looks off. What is a little lash set going to do? Please, wait, somebody try to convince me. Convince me right now, please. Give me something. Give me something so I could try to be like, I see it now. Right? Because you don't know how to dress your body to make your body look balanced and structured or even floated. Like, you don't know how to add something to your body where it's like you're milking your best features, whether it's your legs, it's your back, it's your shoulders, it's your chest, it's anything. You don't know how to do that. All you know how to do is, I'm gonna hide and add an extra something. Right? I see you guys going to work. You already got all these clothes on, and then you're like, oh, but, I don't really like my hips, so I put on a sweater, a long cardigan. Yikes. We don't want to do that. No, we're not dressing our body, right? So we need to identify what are the components that you work on. And if you're watching this and you're like, Carla, I honestly don't know. I've been running around in a little hamster wheel. Image audit. It's the best idea I've had in a million zillion years, okay? Now, we got style, hair, and skin. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Who thinks they know what they're sucking at right now? If you think you know what you're sucking at right now, I want to see in the chat. I just want to see where people are at. Or if you don't know, if you're like, Carla, I actually just know I don't look as good as I want to, just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know. I want to see what's going on. Okay? I want to see what's going on. I see skin. Okay? I see hair. Okay. I'm trying to lose weight though. That was not my question, darling. And that's a great point. Video I did earlier today talking about if you're losing weight, should you wait to lose weight to like be tackling this? No. Guess what? There is no like on average, if you go, let's go back to the mall. You go to the mall and you poll 10 adults over the age of 27, right? Some young people don't care. Over the age of 27. And you ask them, are you at your ideal body weight or body type? Almost all of them are going to say no. Almost all of them are going to say no. The people who are skinny are trying to tone up more. The people who are big are trying to get more slim. The people who are active bodybuilders, personal trainers, right now they could be in bulking season, they could be in cutting season, right? And these are all people who are adults who have to watch their bodies fluctuate like this. It is very, very normal in a person's closet to almost have two sizes in there, right? You've got some people are like a little bit smaller in the summer and they might get a little heavier in the fall. If you only wait until you're slimmer to actually dress your body well or put yourself together, you're going to be waiting on the sidelines all day like this. Like you're about to play double dutch and you just never get in. Any day now. Ooh, I'm fluctuating. Ooh, I guess I'll wait. Ooh, I guess I'll wait. Oh, I'm working more at work. I'm eating more. I'm working from home. I'm gaining weight. Oh my gosh, I'm traveling a lot. I'm not eating enough. Honey, let's lock in. Because no matter where your body's going to take you in the weight journey, you need to be honoring it. Regardless. Because what are you going to do? While you're not at the weight that you want, hide at home for another 2 years because you've been doing that before? Hello? Did COVID-19 teach us nothing? Did us being locked in the house teach us nothing? You better live your life, honey. You better live your life and you better show up the way you want. Because I don't think we learned enough lessons in that time. Because the way that we were cooped up in that house, people should be running to be outside these days, if you ask me. Okay? But these are the image components. All right? So people don't know where to start. So they run around, chicken with their head cut off, and then at the end of the year, see that they have no result. No result. Has that ever happened to somebody? Where you're like, okay, you know what? 2026, it's my year. I'm going to be finer than I've ever been, blah, 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 blah. And then Thanksgiving comes and you realize, I didn't really get that fine for real. I was trying things, but nothing stuck. We need to stop playing around here and assuming that we know what the heck we're looking at. Okay? A lot of y'all need image audits. Now, from here, I want to also talk about some of the little things that people get caught up in when it comes to image components that I'm not saying they don't matter, but they're so secondary and they're so advanced. If you haven't mastered this 3, like some of you guys were saying, I haven't mastered my skin, I haven't mastered my hair, I haven't mastered my style. Why the heck are you thinking about being a 9 right now? You can't chew what's on your plate. A 9 is going to be 1, 2, 3 teeth and a long list. If you were here in the last live, I did a whole list of what it takes to be that fine. And I'm not mad at it, but you gotta be able to handle this. We gotta be able to handle this. All right, so let me see. Let me see where we're at. Okay. Now, if we go back, what if I need to lose 80 pounds? Great. How fast do you plan on losing the 80 pounds? Right. I don't think it will be next Friday. So in that meantime, I didn't tell you to redo your whole closet. Can you get 5 or 6 outfits that you know you look good in right now on your journey? Right? So that if somebody invites you out, so that if you have something, a conference to go to, if you're going out with your girlfriends, if you're on a date, you still feel good. That's the part that we're not honoring. Y'all only want to feel that fine when you get to the 80 pounds down, and we got to talk to people who actively lose weight and, whatever. It ain't just a 5 pound where I'm like, okay, go doing a 3-day cleanse, right? It's 80 pounds. So there's a journey. enjoy that journey. Keep yourself fun at that journey. Keep yourself inspired and motivated in that journey, right? That's what I'm saying, okay? And yes, dressing well now will help and motivate you to do the work, to continue to be on that, journey. How are you just going to be staring off into a distance and you're not getting inching closer? You're going to be inching closer, losing your weight. But then what? You just want to hide and mistreat yourself? I think that's wrong. It's a wrong perspective. But I understand. I'm not telling you to redo every bit of your closet and throw everything. I'm not telling you that. But y'all just don't want to work on nothing until you get there. It's a little bit drastic and like almost like a perfect world scenario. And as you can see, you look outside, this world is a little ghetto. Okay, the world's a little bit ghetto. It's not perfect here. Okay, it's not perfect here. All right, so somebody said, I think I need my body better / style. Okay, so does that mean you working on your figure and then styling that? I'm curious about what that means. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. Also, you learn what works while you get to your goal weight. Absolutely. 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 Okay, so listen. As we continue to talk about this, somebody said this is for girls. Is it for girls? Not really, but I realize that the girls lock in. So if the girls lock in, that's what I'm talking to. I've been a personal stylist for over a decade. I work with men and women. If you go on my page, you'll see makeovers from men and women. But the girls lock in on the lives, and whoever locks in on the lives is who I'm serving. I'm not picky. I'm not going to say, no, whoever wants to do the work, hey, they get the results, okay? They get the results. And guess what? We're not going to gatekeep that on either side. But these are both components for men and women. A guy changing his style, hair, skin. If you go look at one of my recent YouTube videos where I did the whole men's makeover. I had a client. He was recently single. He had a divorce. And we literally made him look 20 years younger. And then we did a follow-up with him after the 60 days. And he talks about how much his life has changed. Specifically his dating life and the kind of women he was attracting. When I tell you this stuff goes deep. But unfortunately, I think this conversation is gatekept. Because it's like, if you start changing this, let me tell you the parts of your life that are going to change. Because a lot changes from here. Okay? Things that change. Number one, your self-concept. I know that might be like a little foo-foo for some of you guys, but the self-concept is the difference of the girl who walks in like, hey, what's up, y'all? And the girl that walks in, what's up, y'all? That. And some of y'all have never had that. Okay? So that, we got to put that here. Okay? Self-concept. That's part of what's going to change. Right? From the 60 days. If we lock in. That's number one. Okay? So, self-concept changes the way that you walk. It changes the things that you say yes to. The people you say yes to. Anybody here feel like you only attract dusty people? Like people where you're like, how the heck am I only attracting these people? Oh my gosh. Is it me? Am I the problem? You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it is us. Do you know how many times I've had younger girlies? I'm talking 25, 28, whatever, right? Even early 30s. And they're like, okay, Carla, my dating sucks. I'm not liking the guys. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to lock in here. We're going to see how it goes. When I tell you, they're like, oh, this is different. They're treating me different. I'm like, well, your self-concept is different. Who you're attracting is different. The energy that you walk with. And thus, they got to act different with you. And people are coming to you differently. Everything about you is radiating from that energy. So if you're, let's say, one of the people on the sidelines like, oh, yeah, I just wait till I lose the weight. I know you're attracting dusties. I know, because your self-concept is not high enough. It's not high enough. If I'm like, oh yeah, one day I'll be able to treat myself in that way, and one day I'll do this for myself, and oh, okay. I know you're attracting dusties, and you're going to attract people who think that maybe they're right and maybe they're wrong. But you're going to attract people who think that they can kind of use you, and even if they're like a little bit out of your league, they come in with agendas because they see that your self-concept is low. This is the dangerous place to not have, a dangerous thing to not have. Dangerous, because people will play with you and don't let you have a little coin and low self-concept. Yikes, ma'am. These are the people that get targeted first with all them like love scams and dating scams and like what are all those things that have happened over the years where men are taking people's money and like when the self-concept is not concepting, yeah. Okay, that's number one. Number two, second thing that changes, career. Okay? I know that you think that your boss is Mother Teresa. Oh my, it's all about the work that I put in and, you know, the accomplishments and, you know, I do have this degree and, you know, that's how you think that your boss looks at you. Your boss don't look at you like that. Your boss do not look like at you like that. How do I know? Well, let me lock in. I've been a consultant for companies for the past about 8 years of the 11 years that I've been styling. And when I tell you, they are ready to spill the tea on you guys. Oh, y'all didn't know. Y'all did not know. Y'all did not know they're spilling the tea. What are they saying? Oh yeah, we brought these 3 out to this conference and oh my gosh, I cannot believe the things they chose to wear and we had to address it when we got back and oh my gosh, can you help them? I've had companies say, Carla, we're gonna fly you in. We want you to help every single one of the people because we don't know what's going on. And depending on the kind of company that you work for, if they have bigger projects with big companies and like there's a certain aura that is everyone understands but maybe doesn't discuss, they judge you like crazy. And you are not going to grow past where you are until this elevates. I've seen this elevate people's careers in 6 months. And they've been at that job for years. But all of a sudden, their boss is like, oh, you know, would you mind helping on this project? It's actually going to be in Arizona, but we'd love to have you lead on this. Because there's an energy and an image and a message here that connects dollar signs. Your boss ain't never claimed to be Mother Teresa. Okay? And so as long as you kind of live in the middle of like, oh no, but I went to school and I did this. Okay, cool. But it's not going to come back in the way you think. Okay? They're looking, if they can't find it in-house, they'll go look for it outside. Somebody who can do the work, but can also put on a face that is required in business. Okay? That's that. And then the last thing, relationships. And relationships, I say this, I didn't just put dating on there because I noticed some people's long-term relationships change too. Right? Like some people's dynamics with their spouses and their boyfriends and things change when this changes. So it's a very interesting dynamic because you would think it only affects long-term, but short-term in terms of dating, but in long-term, a lot of relationships have lost spark, sexy, like it's gone. And this needs to come back so your self-concept is different, so your relationship is different. It's crazy how it's all connected, okay? Crazy how it's all connected, okay? Somebody said bosses see workers as an asset, unfortunately. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, are they fully wrong? Because let's say you're just like not performing. They're not going to say, hey, we love you. We want to keep you, even though you haven't been performing well or at the pace that we want you to. Or like in climates like now, where last year they were laying off so many people. At the end of the day, the numbers aren't numbering. So really, you kind of are an asset. I don't want to say like people are just things, but there's a lot there. There's a lot. Business is business. Okay? Somebody said, my style is off and I don't know how to walk in heels. We must learn to walk in heels. One of my biggest videos is talking about heels. Because I need the girlies. Before we cross over to senior citizens. Okay? I was just talking to my aunt earlier and she was talking about how she's about to be a senior officially. And before we cross over to that senior citizen line, you better milk that life. I need you fine and I need you in a heel. Not every day. I'm not asking for too much, but please put something on, okay? Now, style is off. Tap in, okay? Somebody said, I'm attracting broke women. Now, as a man, that can be one of two things, okay? You might look like maybe I can get some money from you, okay? Right? That's what it might look like. And it might look like your self-concept is not so high that it's like, maybe he'll be like flattered. Like, there is that dynamic. We kind of watch it in 90 Day Fiance, right? Where, why is the American person not so high up in some of these, right? Can I get a amen, somebody? When we see the American person in 90 Days Fiance and all these shows, right? These are usually low on that person, right? Sometimes they don't have no hair. We don't know what's going on with the hair if they do have hair. We ain't never seen them put something on. We ain't never seen them like well-dressed American and they're having to go all the way here and find this person that like, you pick them? Right? We look at the pairings on shows like that and something is off. What can we help? We can help this. We can help this fast. Because the second that you start changing your packaging, you are not going to accept BS. You're like, do you know I've been actually working on myself? You think I'm going to settle with you? I'd rather be alone than be with you. And that kind of energy actually attracts people that you're more interested in. So we have a lot of like power over that. Okay? A lot of power. Okay? Yes. Okay. So let's not limit ourselves by saying we're broke. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think sometimes people will look at this and just be like, you know, I just don't have no money to do anything. Nothing at all. Did I tell you how much to spend? It's not like I came here and I said, hey, if you want to be attractive, it's going to start off at $9,999. Did I come in with any number? I didn't come in with a number. I came in with 0 numbers. So if we're already saying I'm too broke, you see the self-concept is still off. That signals to me this really needs to happen for you. You understand? Because you already eliminated yourself from something and tell me where the entry price was here. Tell me. I didn't put a number yet. I didn't put a number. But we're already too broke to do any of these? I don't know. Because you probably got clothes on right now. Are we going to talk about that? Or are you naked doing this? I mean, you're at home. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, you probably got clothes on right now. Right? You probably got something that you put on your skin today. Hello? Probably did something with your hair either this week, last week. Hello? Right? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Right? Like, we got to start thinking about how can I stop limiting my self-concept so that I can glow up. Okay? Because in order for that to happen, you have to actually believe that it will. Now, the great thing is, the reason I'm even here doing lives, I do lives twice a week. Hello. And then I also do one-on-ones with people all throughout the week. Some people are virtual, some people are in person, right? The reason I'm even here doing this is because I'm like, yes, I know some of you guys will say, you know what, Carla, I want your help one-on-one. And some of you guys won't. I understand that. But I give so many like talking points and things to consider and things to do in different lives and different videos. So even if you're stepping one at a time to get there, you gotta stop saying that you're too broke to do something. Because at that point, just give up then. Maybe just give up if we're gonna be going that far gone. Okay? It's important that we continue to want to grow and not count ourselves out. Okay? Now, I did see a few people talking about things like weight, etc., etc., etc. Now, if we were to do what you guys would want me to do, which is put weight up here to get to the 7, it wouldn't make sense. Because that would be like saying, okay, so that means the only people that look good are what? Up to a size 6 and lower? So you've never gone out and been in the world and be like, yo, she got that shit on. Like, she looks good or he looks good. And they're not a size 4 or 2. That's why weight doesn't go up here. Weight only goes when you're trying to be a perfect 10, and now you've got to be looking like you freaking train for triathlons and such. That's different levels. That's out of here. Like that's the things that where you'll see that every once. I don't even know how often you see somebody who looks that good, to be honest, because it's so much dedication and work. But we're just trying to get right here so that these parts of our lives are better. Because we need better. Okay? So that's where we're at here. I want to see if there are any questions. Okay? We've got less than 20 minutes on today's live. This is going to be the time where I'm answering questions. I'm addressing anything that you have for me to discuss. Now, let's see. Do you believe in the 2/3 rule? 2/3 rule, I do believe in it as like, let's say you're getting ready to head out the door. If you guys don't know what the 2/3 rule is, pretty much of these 3, having 2 of these done, right? I think that's baseline if you're just like, you don't care and you're like, I don't know, going to the gym. Or you're going to, I don't know, do a quick errand. That's okay. I just know it's not going to get you here. And if this is like what your goal has been to like be attractive and a little bit more leveled up, it's not really going to help. So there's that on that. Okay? There's that on that. It's not bad. At least it's better off. It's better than like not caring at all. But it's definitely not going to get you all the way here. Because something's always going to feel a little bit missing. So easy to kind of coast with, but not get us the results. Okay? Beautiful. Okay, so yes, I did a few audits this week. And one of the biggest things that I'm seeing in the audits is that there is a lack of direction. Okay, so especially if you are somebody who's like the face of your own brand, or you're a business owner, or you're even just front facing, or you're like very ambitious in your career at your job, you're more of a corporate person. If you're somebody who has like this vision and this goal, why isn't this aligning with that? Does that make sense? So thinking about one of the clients I talked to earlier, where it's like she's wanting to grow and match her business growth and like be seen as a higher level expert, but she was dressing like a college kid. So like there's this huge disconnect where it's like people are seeing you and meeting you, your clients are meeting you, and it's like, oh, right? It's like you're making them more confused than they should be. So what we want to do is make sure that these things here are locking in with the goals, right? So I want to hear, what are some of you guys' goals for the year? Okay? What are some of you guys' goals for the year? It could be financial, it could be personal, it could be in your relationships, your friendships. Like your goal might be, oh man, I want to go out and do something fun at least twice a month, right? That means if you're building your image and your style and everything that you want to be in the 7 out of 10, you have to consider, okay, I like to step out, so I need to consider that part of my life. If you're like, no, this is the year that I go really crazy in my business, and I'm going to be traveling a lot and speaking a lot, that also needs to be more reflective in the image components. We're getting lost because people don't know where to start. Oh my gosh. People have no clue where to start. Well, this is the big 3, but it has to complement the mission. What does it look like if it doesn't complement the mission, right? If we're just going off vibes. Okay, well, let's talk about it. So let's say you're like, okay, Carla, I'm going to work on my image components, the big 3. I'm locked in, right? But your goal this year is to finally become director at your job, right? But you started dressing like, in a style that you like, but you're not actually looking like the director. So you're not looking advanced at work. You already negated one of your goals. Does that make sense? These things can actually help you. I always say your image is a tool, meaning your image is supposed to help you get to what you want. So it's also like when the girls are coming online, they're saying they're going on a date. And you're like, you're going on a date like that? No, boo. We need you to change and put the nails on. What is this? Right? Like, that's what we mean. That's exactly what we mean. It needs to be working together. Because why are you looking like a librarian going on a date? That's not going to help the fact that you said that you want to date and be in a serious relationship, you would probably want to look more feminine in whatever way that looks to you, not more like nonchalant, right? You get on a date with somebody who looks nonchalant, they look like they want to be here. I've had that happen with clients where people have asked them like, oh, what made you wear that? Or why did you wear that? Like moments like that. Okay, so because we don't want that, we want to make sure that we're in alignment all together. Is that fair? Like there needs to be a rhyme and a reason. Okay, so if we're thinking about image, we want it to be in alignment here. Okay, now the problem with me is I want to be director, but I work remote. Do you have touch points, Kathy? Like where you guys meet every quarter or conferences, or even if you guys are on Zoom for meetings or anything. Are there any moments where you are actually in their presence or in their visual eye? You still can use these. Because when I was referring to companies and they're very, critical kind of you guys' image, they even talked about Zooms. They said, Carla, on the Zooms, people aren't doing this. They're dressing up however. We're tired of the hoodies. At all these touch points, they're measuring, Kathy. So I hope that, that you could still use those few touch points that you have, even though you have the pleasure of working remote, because the bosses aren't liking that. I was telling live, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, last month alone in January, a lot of companies were reaching out to me, wanting me to talk to their teams. A lot of them. It was actually more than I've ever had in a 30-day base. I think it was like 6 or so, 5 or 6 different companies in 30 days, less than 30 days, really. It was like within 2 weeks. Because, when the new year starts, that first week of January is like dead. And within like 2 weeks, all these companies wanted me to come speak to their teams. They care about Zooms. They care about the conferences. They care about all of that because they feel embarrassed when you guys are especially like supposed to be representing the team and speaking with clients, and like you make them look like it's a haphazard type of thing. They hate that. Okay, so even if you got the sweatpants on the bottom, can we do something sharp on top? Okay. What if you wear a work uniform? Yes. Then these two need to be amazing. You hear me? Amazing. Next. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'd like to start dating too. Vetting new friendship or relationships. Okay, I love that for you. So that's someone, it looks like mesh. You're someone who wants to be more social, right? Relationally and friendship wise. You definitely need fun, approachable, even a little bit of flirty outfits. They're going to help you radiate that message and feel open to people. And it's going to help you internalize that, right? So there's this study out of Harvard, and it's called Enclothed Cognition. So what it tells us is the way that you dress yourself and the way that you perceive that is how you'll act. So if you put on a dress that you think is flirty, you're going to be flirtier because you believe that that's your role that night wearing the dress, right? So you need to pick things that feel flirtier or more inviting or open, and that you also feel confident in. Now, don't do all that and then be tugging at it all night. Make sure you feel confident in it, in your body. That's important, okay? Let's see. I need all 3 systems evaluated, but I know my style is 100% non-existent. With the image audit, do you pick outfit examples, specific pieces? Okay, so let's say you're like Randy and you're like, I need help in style, hair, skin, makeup, right? We'll do the image audit and I'll be able to see what your biggest priorities are, and I will give you marching orders on that. Now, when it comes to style, because I'm a personal stylist, I will take it further after the image audit, and if I find that your style really needs help, then I'll invite you to do personal styling, okay? Because in the image audit, I'm going to pull out what's the first emergency. For some people, it has been styled. For some people, it's been hair. I'm like, this hair has got to go because it's throwing you off balance. It's making you look older. It's making you look more tired. Why? Okay? So that's what the image audit is about. It's about being able to assess where you are and how to have actionable steps in every area. AKA, Carla, what are the styles of hair that look good on me? Oh, well, you actually look good in long styles with low volume, face framing, try curtain bangs, and also try side pars for yourself in these 3 colors based on your color analysis that I've done. That's an example of the hair component in an image audit. So now you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is great. I know exactly what hairstyles I should be leaning into. Great. Okay, Carla, what do you think about my skin or makeup? Oh, well, you know what? Like I told a client the other day, your skin looks really, really dry. And I can tell that in every photo. Your biggest priority needs to be your skincare right now, even before your makeup. Because we know that makeup only goes on top of the skin. But the skin's got to be doing something good, right? So we have marching orders. I even gave her products. I even recommended her specific products for her skin to help. Because I could see that there were some like common issues laying there, okay? What should we do after the audit? And what do we do if we need to get rid of our entire closet? Yes, so after the image audit, you should be taking your marching orders. I want to tell you exactly the hairstyles that look good on you. The exact things that we need to be focusing on in the areas that you need it, right? And then after that, if you need more one-on-one with style, perfect. I'm a personal stylist. I've done a million zillion of these, okay? Over 10 years. I don't know how many outfits I've put together for people of different sizes, body types, backgrounds, everything. So when it comes to the editing the entire closet, I have a whole system and portal for that. That's easy, okay? That is the easiest part of it all, actually, okay? What if you don't wear makeup? Is there a reason we don't wear makeup? We don't have to wear makeup every day. I don't want to hear us just fully exclude ourselves from makeup unless there's like a reason. Like a client earlier who was saying she doesn't wear makeup because she's sensitive. And I was like, okay, great. Well, it's 2026. There are so many like skincare friendly, sensitive makeup products that we could be using. Let's lean into that. Because you want to have the ability to do both, not limit yourself just to skin. Because sometimes I've noticed when you guys just say you just want to focus on skin, you just want to skip out on doing the makeup and learning it and starting as a rookie, right? Because nowadays, the 11-year-olds, they might as well be makeup artists, right? So if you feel like a little bit late to learning makeup, you might say, I don't know, like, I don't really know how to do makeup, and so I'm not really good at it, and, you know, like, so you kind of count yourself out. Meanwhile, that's not working, okay? So, next, let me see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Taylor. That's very, very common. People don't know how to put it on, and that's very common. Like, a lot of the girls aren't saying, hey, you know, I missed out on the makeup era. I think that right now, the younger women and girls, I should say, because they're girls right now, are going to be great at makeup. Because they're learning right now at 11, at 12, at 13. Whereas a lot of people who are like 25 and up, we're kind of later to that party and having to learn in our adulthood. And that's okay. But I would say learn now. Practice now. Maybe every Sunday. Practice at home, right? For a month, every Sunday. That's 4 Sundays. Then allow yourself to get better before you go out with the makeup look. You got to start somewhere. And the great part about it, Taylor, is I would say, yes, there are so many tutorials out there and easy ones. Find you an easy no makeup look to start. And then do like something that's a little bit more like brunch or whatever, date night friendly. You don't want to go into like the big dramatic things where they've got all these colors on the eyes, all these. Start with the simple, glowy, day-to-day makeup tutorials on here and practice at home. That way you don't mess it up, you don't feel embarrassed. Because we've all been there like, you know what, I might have effed this makeup up and I don't know how I want people to see it. That's okay. That's okay. Okay? I'm 28, but I don't feel like a woman inside. I feel like a teenage girl. How can I improve that? That's very common, Asma. I find the older women get, like, like you get past your, like, college age, you're like, I want to feel feminine. Every woman is telling me the same thing. I want to feel feminine. Whether their feminine is more sexy or sultry or flirty or classic, whatever their version of feminine is, every woman is getting older and wants to say, it says, I want to be feminine. So that's normal. You need to lean in here, especially style. Especially style if you are struggling with feeling more feminine. and whatever version of feminine you want that to be, because this will reflect more of where you want to be in the messaging. Okay. I'm also small with a baby face. Yeah, I still stand on what I said. Style needs to be the biggest thing. Style, and if you have a baby face, you have to be very careful with hair. You have to pick hair that doesn't make you too adorable, right? And then you want to style yourself in alignment with, let's say you're like, I want to feel like a classic woman, right? Or maybe I want to feel a more sultry, like we were joking about an evil villain or hot villain, right? Like whatever your energy is, your style and hair are probably going to be the biggest things for you, because in skin and makeup, if you've already got a baby face, it's really just going to keep it baby face, right? But hair, if you go in the wrong direction, can make you look like imbalanced and too young, okay? And then style, all right? So that's what I've got for tonight. Now, we've got 2 minutes left. If anybody wants to ask the last question, I expect to see some of you guys in the image audits. I'm excited with what's happening already with the image audits. We've got listen, if you guys really, really lock in, especially the ones that have already done the image audit, we're going to have results to show and share, as long as they're okay with it. I don't force anybody to share anything. Even when I share transformations on my page, I make sure it's okay with everyone. And not everybody likes it. I understand that. But we should have some images to share based off of the image audits that have already been done, and they're already underway to this. So while people are sitting around on the sidelines, wondering and waiting for the perfect whatever, the people are going to be outside this summer. Are you? Are you going to be outside this summer feeling confident? I've already got my game plan. Whoa. We've already got all this. We're not worried about this. I'm worried about that list that I shared on Sunday where it was like all the way down here. I'm like, ooh, I haven't caught up to that list, honey. I haven't caught up. But little do they know, sweet potatoes cut in the middle with some ground turkey. Okay. If you know, you know. All right. If you know, you know. If we were to choose one to start, which is most important, Susie, it depends on where you are, which is why I tell people to get an image audit. Unless you know on your own, which it sounds like you might not know, Susie. Because you won't know just based off of a random factoid. It's not like, hey, everybody should do hair first. No. Actually, some of y'all have great hair. Some of y'all have figured out hair. Some of you guys have figured out skin, but you haven't figured out the rest. Right? So, that's that. Let me see. Can you have a balanced feminine style? This is going to be my last question. Can you have a balanced feminine style in a male-dominated field? Absolutely. And actually, you want to milk that. You want to milk your femininity. And the men there aren't going to tell you that. That would be stupid of them. But we have to understand as women what some of our superpowers are. And leaning into the feminine is actually the way to go, and not to try to like look like them. Okay. Now, when it comes to your work, when it comes to the way you speak, you hear yourself, of course, you still want to be like adamant, professional, whatever, right? But like when it comes to like how you put yourself together, trust me, that's actually gonna be more of a secret weapon than you think. You would think, oh, everybody's a guy here, I should like kind of tone it down, wear more gray and wear more oversized and be kind of no, because now you don't have a superpower. How are you standing out? People, and they're going to start putting you up front. If you are in a male-dominated field and you have these together, they're going to use you, and it depends if you like this or not. They're going to start to try to use you as like, oh yeah, she always looks like perfect. Put her up there. She's together. Like, she's going to make us look good. So if you're not doing these, it's actually like you're losing a little bit of a moment. Okay? Now, if you guys do not know, I will be back here on Sunday. I'm here on Sundays. Okay? For sure. During the week, I try to do either Wednesday or Thursday. Depends on my schedule with clients. But I will see you guys back here on Sunday if I do not see you in the image audits. Okay? It's been real.